Welcome back. This is Off by One, and you're watching part 2 of my One Factory Any Potion tutorial. Okay, so over on this side, you want to place shafts in the following locations. You can ignore the glass for now, that's just there to help you work out the number of blocks required between each of these shafts. And just worth calling out as well, the black glass represents the number of ingredient locations that you need. So if you're not creating loads of different potions and you're instead just using a small subset of potions, then you may not need for this to be as long as it is here. This will give you a total of 8 ingredients, including this block here, which acts as our main input. Just get rid of these for now. So the most important belt here is the one that runs from this first basin inwards, because this acts as our input from here. It also allows us to drive both of these belts by placing a gearbox in the corner. Like so. You'll also have belts here, here, and here, or all the way along for however many of the basins that you have. And then above these you'll have a brass tunnel, and it needs to be a brass tunnel, not an andesite tunnel, because we're using the split functionality to ensure that each of these basins receives an equal number of items. You also want to add a andesite funnel on each basin to ensure that the items are sucked in. And finally, you want to add your smart chutes all the way along here for the number of ingredients that you're trying to add. You'll then have some sort of storage on top. I'm going to use creative crates as I did earlier because it makes it much easier to demo. Now, one very important thing to note is that the number of items that are released here must tie to the number of fluid of basins that you have. If you don't set this to the right number of items, then you won't be able to create the correct number of potions and the recipes might break. So make sure that you set all of these to 4 if you have 4, 15 if you have 15, and so on and so forth. Like so. Next up is the control circuit, but I'll do that separately as there's some important points to note on the redstone links. Okay, so once again, you can ignore the glass. It's just there to help you visualize where these shafts need to be. We'll start this one off by placing the mechanical belts. So we have a shaft coming out of this mechanical belt that we placed earlier. That's the one that went along 4 blocks. I'll go out from 1 and then up. We then want to go in. And now note that there is a shaft here beside this one. This is going to power our gear shift that's used to change the direction of the mechanical piston. So we'll grab our gear shift. Actually, let's just switch. So our gear shift should go here, like so. We'll then have another belt going up here like that. And I'll just get rid of these glass blocks. Our mechanical piston will go next to this gear shift facing in the way. So that was a shift click so that it will reach out and grab this linear chassis. And on the face of this linear chassis and in the direction of the basins, you want to place a bit of slime. And that will allow this to pick up all these basins when this mechanical piston grabs it. Now we also need to add the shaft for the mechanical piston, so in this case piston extension pole, and that'll reach out and grab that. We then need a vertical gearbox here and a cog on top of that. So now as this turns and as this turns, our piston will be actuated by the gear shift when the redstone link deems it should be, and we will also have all of our mixers rotated as well, so that loops everything nicely together, minimizing the number of power sources that you need. On the redstone link side of things, we'll place our redstone link here, like so. Now this is going to be our basin control circuit, so similar to the ones that we did here before. We'll grab a potion bottle in frequency 1, but for this one what we'll do is we'll use a basin for frequency 2, just so we know that that is the basin control circuit. Now the other control circuits that we'll need are for these, but before we place the torches all the way along, we need to actually populate these to ensure that they work properly when it comes to, well, potion creation time. So I'm just going to swap to my potion creating inventory. Let's go nether wart, blaze dust, spider eye, gunpowder, sugar. Do I have redstone anywhere else? I don't. Let's do that. Don't need any more slime blocks. Redstone, you can go glowstone, etc, etc. Now that those are placed, essentially, in your case, these would be chests populated with items. This now contains, in this case, some redstone dust, in this case, some sugar, and so on and so forth. Meaning that when these are next turned on, once the belt is cleared, the items will flow through. If you don't place the items in at first, and you try and run the potion crafting, it will mess up on the first time because there won't be any items in the chute ready to move downwards. That out of the way, let's actually put in the torches that will control this. So one block out, so that you've got space to place your redstone torch, and you just want to go all the way along like so. So it should look like that. Then on top of these, you'll place your redstone links, again, one for each potion ingredient. And similarly to how we were doing before, we'll go potion icon, potion icon, potion icon, potion icon, all the way across. And then you'll just fill these up with your ingredients. I turned one of those, didn't I? There we go. Yes. Back to what it should be. Gunpowder, spider eye, blaze dust, nether wart. And we have enough for a potion in there, so we can test this once it's built. And the only other thing to note with this circuit at the moment, aside from the two that I missed out that you could fill in yourself, is that all of these should be in receive mode. So just make sure that each of these redstone links is in receive mode. You can tell it's in receive mode if it's got a little white circle around it, like so. And the same goes for the ones we placed earlier. Now just to clear this line, so that it doesn't have any crap on it when we need it later, I'm just going to move the creative motor that I've got here. You could put a hand crank on or something, just so that you can get rid of everything that's there. Speed that up a bit. And actually, if everything's working, all of these should be running in reverse. And yeah, we can see they're all running in reverse. So that is working. So you could place your actual power source anywhere really. Oh, there's one last one we missed just there. Let's get that away first. Oh look, it's not going to disappear. Okay, let's pick it up. Okay. So yeah, you can place your power source pretty much anywhere as long as it drives the rotation in a clockwise manner, like so. So all of these should be moving inwards, and the belts here should be moving towards the other belts, and these should be moving like so. Now for the one that I showed earlier, the belts were set to speed 64. I'm going to do the same here for consistency. And that should be it for the potion factory itself. We can actually test if it works using the same control center that we had over there. And let's do that. Nothing like a live demo. Let's go potion of swiftness. Hopefully this isn't too far away for it to pick up. Okay, so we've got netherwort first, followed by our sugar, followed by our redstone. Yep, followed by our redstone. And then it should pass it out, passes it out. Pumps run, suck it off to the creative tank, and stops. And the other pump runs and fills it back up with water. And then passes it back. Okay, with the factory itself out of the way, I'm going to really quickly skim over the recipe controller, and then we'll be done. Okay, that's it for this part. Before we finish up, I just want to point out the links in the description. You'll find part 0, the demo, along with parts 1, 2 and 3 of the tutorial there, along with links to the schematic so you can try it out for yourself. If this video has been in any way useful, please give it a like or drop a comment. As you can see, this is still a very small channel, and every little bit helps. I won't pester you to subscribe here, but do consider checking out my other videos. I try to upload at least every fortnight. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next one.